Greetings, Hive. Hope you all are doing well today. Welcome in. It is day 66 of my 90-day challenge, and very hard to believe we are getting close to finishing this challenge. I know it hasn't been a perfect journey, but usually, in life, nothing's. Nothing's truly a straight journey towards the finish line. There's always going to be dips and detours, and you just have to do your very best to continue to move forward. And that is kind of like the lessons to today is failing forward, right? So today was the last day of my son's swimming lessons for, I believe, for level 4. And today was the report card, and unfortunately enough, yeah, he wasn't he didn't get the passing grade here. So yeah, definitely, it was kind of, not as deflating, but at the same time, obviously, you're hoping, right? And that's all you can do is definitely just hope that you pass. I know that he missed a lesson here because he was sick, and then obviously, you know um, one of the lessons, especially on Monday, was jumping into the deep end, and he was not yet comfortable doing that. So yeah, unfortunately, as they say, it is what it is. But at the same time, it is a great baseline to start off. So knowing that how hard you tried last time, there's always room for improvement. There's always room to, once again, always great to, once again, just go back to the basics, uh, figure out how you can improve, figure out areas that you can work on, figure out, especially, things that may help amplify and try something new as well. So it's always great to, once again, it's um, if you're looking at these things, as we said, the topic is failing forward. But if you're looking at it as failing itself, then definitely it comes for a place of just negativity, and come to a place where it's just comes to a dead halt, right? And the two things, especially when it comes to also regret, right? There's two things that just makes it worse for us, right? Or first one is, once again, just ignoring it completely, right? So just letting failure just um you know uh take its course, just saying that this is not for me. I tried and I failed, and I guess I'll never succeed at doing this, right? So just letting it, just ignoring it, right, is not gonna help you move forward, right? And not gonna, and once again, it doesn't end there. It definitely leads into many other things, like you try to attempt, like like our New Year's resolutions, right? Every year we attempt at improving our health, and we go as long as we can until the missed days start piling up. um you know cheating, having a cheat meal here and there start piling up, and then he's like, oh well, I did my best, I tried, and what this, I better luck next year, right? So definitely, once again, just ignoring ignoring failure, ignoring regret, all these negative things definitely does not help you in the future, because once again, it just builds that habit of just um, trying things and not having it work, and just moving on and doing something else, right? And that's the thing, we just move on, do something else without giving it a real good shot, right? The other thing of once again failing, right, is wallowing in it, right? Just letting it eat us alive, and just living in it, right? So definitely, it's not only just we're ignoring it, now we're letting it chew us alive, right? And it things happen, and it's part of life. And the more that uh, once again, it's like it's constructive fear, right? Or constructive pain, right? It has happened, but uh, once again, it works both ways, right? It's a double-edged sword. So if you can think positively and amplify it, and build momentum, and it works the other way. We can just let us eat us up, and just head down a very, very dark path, to the point where just we just don't want to interact with the world anymore, right? So definitely, once again, it's very important that we don't get into of just ignoring these failures, and just wallowing in it. The best way to use these things, and once again, the words are very, very important, is to think of them failures, think of problems, the troubles that you experience. Think of them as as challenges, and what are challenges that are meant to be overcome, right? So if you give that these things as a blessing in disguise, a life lessons, and once again, life lessons of not just only like, oh, I'll never do that again. Obviously, you don't want to do that again, but at the same time, looking at through a lens of just keep an open mind and see what I could have done better, right? Instead of once again, I'll never do that again. That's once again ignoring it, right? So there's always the best things as well, to grow and motivate yourself, and always look at the lens of hunger and curiosity, right? Always, it's great to get feedback, right? And it's great to once again just debrief and analyze where the challenges happen, and once again, what did work, and what do you want to see more of, right? That wasn't probably wasn't not present for the first round, right? So once again, each one's it's a lesson, and just think of it like as I said, the Super Mario brother effect, right? And if you guys ever played Super Mario, time and time again, definitely speed run wasn't a thing, but obviously getting to doing a speed run took a lot of practice and timing and whatnot. So knowing that um, knowing that you have multiple chances at this, it definitely gives you different aspect in um, not having that uh, just what was the term, make it or break it, right? Like all in this is I'm mustering all of this in this one shot, right? Right. So knowing that you have multiple lives, multiple chances, multiple opportunities, and you're gonna try and experiment different ways to to win, to move forward, to progress, right? And Mark Robert, the guy on YouTube, NASA engineer, who also created some various silly things like the glitter bomb and the world's largest Nerf gun and the smallest Nerf gun, right? He definitely did a TED talk on this, on people were willing to do to do more, knowing that they have multiple chances at this, right? This is not something like um as they say, you have one Eminem, you have one shot to. Well, once again, if it doesn't fall through, you just definitely try again, having the feedback. Especially me training for a marathon, training for my first time. Obviously, you want to do your very best, but at the same time, this is your first time trying it, right? And this stuff, this is where um, very important to just soak it all in and just find out, where your training has brought you, and what now you have a baseline, right? These failures are just a baseline, once again, foundation to build up on top of, right? So that was definitely my where my mind shift over time when it got closer to race day, was to, and especially utilize once again feedbacks and coaching and other people's experience, right? And it's not like this hasn't been done before, right? It has been done. It's just your first time doing it yourself and learning the experiences or the life lessons. Definitely, once again, someone's been through that journey, and it's really really up to us. And we're living in a world of advancements, technology, information is available at our fingertips. Um, Especially like what's in YouTube, right? So it helps a lot that to narrow down the research as much as possible, and then um, if you have the opportunity, hire professional, hire um, uh, get questions answered to those who have done it already, right? And then when it comes to that day, looking through, like I did, looking through, just soaking it all in, right? Learning the track for the first time, and then taking notes on, okay, hills here, hills there, straightaway there, turn, multiple turns here, gravel road, all that stuff. Oh, this passed by the water, right? So taking all those notes for the first time, and then the next opportunity, and usually once again for my favorite place, my hometown, Vancouver, doing it year after year, right? So you have a baseline, where you have experience, you have expectations, what to expect as well, and once again, training. We're training for, I believe, 18 weeks. So January all the way to May, right? That you just you know it's never going to be 100%, right? There's going to be days that you're sick. There's going to be days, especially here in Vancouver, you're going to have days that are raining. And my very first marathon training, it snowed. Snowed in February, March, right? And it was like, okay, these guys are still going. I guess this is how they roll, right? And obviously, that's the thing, having that group of like-minded people training for the same thing, aiming for the same thing. You keep each other accountable, and that's why I love being with my members on my Twitch community. We're just enjoying each other's company, learning, and hoping to take that next step in you know building that community for health, right? And you're just amongst people who are aiming for the same thing, right? And each one of you keep each other accountable. Each one of you share each other's success, and each one of us motivate each other because action is being taken. And we push each other forward. No one gets, we don't leave each other behind, unless you know we let ourselves slip away. But it's gonna take a lot to get to that point, right? But very most important is just the simple showing up, absorbing your environment. And I always say every end of the stream, your environments is gonna be present, even when your mindset isn't at its highest. The environment is going to be there, utilizing so many different avenues, uh, working at the same time. So your experience, someone else on that same timeline is taking action, and another person maybe not doing that well than you, and you may be that person to uplift them as well. So we're all feeding off each other's energy, and we're all helping each other move forward. And definitely it's important, once again, when I'm doing this 3-day workshop, that we're sharing our health goals. We're sharing what our core values are, right? So we know how to address each other. We know how to help each other, trigger our what's important to us. And then we know each other's goals. We know each other's experiences that we want to achieve. We know each other's our direction on how we're going to get there. And then we know each other's long-term goals as well. What is going to be our legacy? What is going to be on? What is the eulogy that we're going to have? And if we're working or moving towards that, right? As crazy it must sound, you know, writing a eulogy is is pretty much that end goal. How are you wanting to be remembered, right? And are you working towards that, right? So not a lot of people utilize that as but once again, here, training and learning under holistic health, we not just only talk about the mindset and working on our physical vessel. We talk about just energy and that spiritual side of us, that that side that gives us that feeling, right? That gut feeling, that sense of intuition. So this is definitely stuff that I'm happy to. It's once again, it's, as I say, it's not the norm, but like, why would we, we have the opportunity to understand the norm, but at the same time, we have the opportunity to not get boxed into that norm where, we're just going with the flow and we're letting other people utilize our energy, our power to decide for us, right? And not everything's gonna go 100%, and we're just, we don't want to be, just the passengers of our own journey, right? Where someone's driving our bus, someone's driving our vehicles, and we just play that role as the passenger, or of that bus. So it's this times that it's really up to us to take responsibility. And once again, it's not our fault. It's once again the environment, right? It's the culture that we grew up. It's stuff that we learned from our parents, stuff that we learned from our friends, all right? Stuff that we learned from our family, right? And once again, especially when we grow up, we learn things that, oh, well, from all this time I thought that was truth, right? But that was someone else's experience, right? And we made their experience our truth, and maybe there's facts behind that, right? But at the same time, you know we need to see through multiple points of views to finally make our own judgment. So as much as people say, that's a bad movie, that's a bad restaurant, don't buy stuff from there, you know maybe one person's experience has doesn't mean why are these places still open if that's a case of for everyone else, right? So until you put your own experience behind that, then that's formulate um, you know uh, your own truth, right? And information experience to amplify that truth for you, right? But at the same time, our truth doesn't mean that it's others, right? Everyone's different, everyone's unique, and we all agree about that, right? And but at the same time, um experience, and it's not like it's never been done before. It's more like the majority it has is just our ability to finally search for those answers, and then research and do experiments, and just once again live life through curiosity, right? And learning and growing, and just as a kid who's a child that's discovering everything for the first time, definitely we should look through that lens of, especially finally realizing what is really important to us, and how we're going to get there, and what will that mean in the future as we start you know improving ourselves, and growing our resonance, growing our energy, growing our vibration to attract those at a higher value, higher elevation. And once again, it's really we need to go after it. We can't let life happen for us, right? We can't wait, treat everything like we're gonna win the lottery, right? Imagine how many people uh, participate and only one or only a handful ever make it amongst millions. And is that how you want to um, run your life, that you're waiting for something to happen, but at the same time you're developing yourself to be ready to accept it, right? We're living life in like it's too good to be true, and sometimes well, we have no problem in manifesting. It's just our ability to receive it, right? um, and that's why we need to continue to work on ourselves to see the many angles, and build our intuition, build our gut feeling, and you know and having those reps, those experience will help guide us. Okay, this I've seen this pattern before, right? And this is you know usually you have that feeling, right? And once again, it's not about having that wishful thinking, but you did the work, you've seen the patterns, what a good deal, or um, what a good opportunity. And once again, setting those intentions from the very start, and becoming that person. What actions need to be taken. So once again, at our current self, we'll see things as failures. But if we once again have that curiosity, that hunger to learn and grow and experience new things, we're failing forward, right? And we're continuing to move forward. As they say, if you fall 7 times, you raise up 8. You just keep going, and you have this one life to live. Every day is just gonna happen. Every second that goes by, we're getting older, right? So how many opportunities do we have to grow a tree? 5, 10, 20 years ago, maybe the last time. The best opportunity, as they say, is today. So definitely, take that action today. Get hungry to learn and discover the world in a new way. Right? Don't let's not, the past has happened. Let's not bring that past or live that past in our future. Right? It has happened. Who's enforcing that past onto us? But usually, more likely, it's ourselves. We're holding on to this past, whether it was a painful thing, whether it was embedded deep into us. No one's really enforcing it unless we're holding on to it, right? And if we're living in that past, then our past will continue into our future. So everything is temporary. Failure is temporary, success is temporary too, right? Not meaning that we done it, we made it, right? We're done, right? It's another chapter, it's another foundation, it's another level, right? So as they always say, we're always a white belt. We're always a young grasshopper, just learning and growing, and just refining and learning more, right? Strengthening that foundation, strengthening becoming, and once we become, then we know what we need to do. All right, well, once again, thank you guys for joining me tonight. Really appreciate it. As always, I'm doing my best to get some sleep here, but it's very important that um, I'm just sharing this journey, and who I have people that DM me and just say thank you. That's enough for me to just keep going, and I appreciate it. And I just I live. I don't hide anything, and just share what's going on, and just try to be relatable as much as possible. And once again, I'm on this 90-day journey. It wasn't perfect, and February was a tough month with my son's situation, but at the same time, um, I had to move forward in a way that and be ready when he's ready, right? So once again, challenges happen, right? And life is always going to be full of mystery, and just uh, surprises. So you just have to keep moving forward, and keep progressing, and keep learning, growing. So once again, thank you guys for joining me tonight. Once again, if this has been super helpful, feel free to give this video the thumbs up or like. This is being streamed on 3 different platforms: Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. So feel free to, once again, you can scan the QR code to get updates on what's happening next. I am doing a 3-day workshop on March 23 to help launch the next 90-day challenge on April 6th. So feel free to join me there, and just learn a little bit more, right? And once again, it's a free 3-day workshop, and hopefully it helps in a way of just helping your health, and at the same time helping you just discover your identity, to filter through the many choices, daily choices we make in life. And then once again, rediscovering goal setting in a new way of not just only point A to point B, but point A to point B, point C, and beyond, as they say. So feel free, once again, follow and subscribe whichever platforms you guys are watching from, and hit those notification buttons to get updates when I go live. And once again, I appreciate all of you who reached out, and the compliments. Even though I once again, we are our worst critics, and we tend to hold on to the past, and no one's enforcing it but us, right? And it sometimes it has that point of view from someone else, to just see that oh, you lost weight, looking good. I'm like, oh, I am. Obviously, and that's why we tell everyone to throw the scale away, because it doesn't tell the truth, right? So people are once again seeing the changes, even though I don't feel like the changes are happening. But obviously I'm having wardrobe malfunctions at work. I'm just like, maybe I might be able to wear my old jeans again, but it's right now jogging pants feels more comfortable at the moment, right? So yeah, once again, it's hard to read the label from inside the bottle. You'll need someone to read it for you, right? So hopefully this has been helpful. And once again, as always, raise your environment, right? It's not um, improving your mindset, that we'll just say that comes later. But surrounding yourself with people, with you know mm, areas, environment to definitely help you to raise yourself, strengthen your mindset in that environment, so that one day you can be that impact in your own environment, your friends, your family, your colleagues, your very own community, right? Because even though we don't think of ourselves as leaders, but we all have suggestions and opinions and experiences that we've been through. We are the most qualified people to share that experience, right? So don't count ourselves out, because there's someone who's just starting that journey, that experiencing that challenge, and we can be that person to help ignite them once again and believe in themselves again, because people, we don't know what people are going through, but just a simple act of kindness can go a long way in just improving the world one person at a time. All right, thank you so much for joining me tonight. I really appreciate all you, and I will catch you on the next stream again. Take good care.